We'll call it the Bernie effect. What is he going to do? Of course, he's going to get Vermont, but is he going to be able to pick up all of New England? He's probably going to get New Hampshire. We remember that Clinton just barely got it, but with Clinton off the ticket, they're going to be a lot more comfortable voting for Bernie, especially since he's neighborly. Now, if we're going to talk about Maine, of course, those first two districts are going to go blue, but is Trump going to be able to pull it out? Is he going to be able to overcome in Maine? I think he is. So let's go on and give him that extra congressional district as well. Of course, Trump won't get his home state, and with Warren the likely vice presidential pick, the rest of New England will go blue as well. It's been a little while since Iowa has been back into the Democratic column, but it might just be possible with Bernie. In as much as Democrats try to talk about identitarian politics, their white electorate will probably turn out and give it to Bernie, as well as the hat of Memo. I don't think Garrison Keillor's Minnesota's going to be leaving the Democrats anytime soon, but Missouri, I think that one's a pretty safe Trump bet all the way down here into the boot. And as much as Democrats want, Texas just isn't ready yet, nor is the interior West. With such a broad stroke of red, let's go on and fill in all the Republican holds that we're not going to have to worry about. Mostly battlegrounds left now, but let's throw those Democrat holds on here as well so we really narrow it down. All right, everything left is a battleground. You might wonder why Washington's out there. Their electors are so faithless that really you can't depend on Washington anymore. And Colorado is no longer a Democratic hold, being that the governor just recently signed away voting rights in Colorado for all presidential enfranchisement. But who gives a fuck? It's supposed to help the Electoral College for the Democrats, so they'll do whatever they want and ignore it if they lose. Now, we had talked about the Solid South, this new construction of identitarian, prominently African-American voting bloc. Unfortunately, if you go with Bernie, you're not going to have that activist base that would turn out Georgia if a Kamala Harris ran. Or if you go way back to my Maxine Waters prediction, that Sojourner Truth kind of activist push that they would get if a black woman was on the ticket. But I don't know with Bernie and Warren. I don't think you're going to be able to pull out North Carolina either. And Florida's panhandle will stay Trump as well. The Nova region of Virginia, right on down into Richmond and Virginia Beach, is turning more and more blue by the day. So I think the Democrats have a pretty safe hold on it. And then we go over to Wisconsin, which is, did you see the rally in Green Bay just a couple days ago? Pretty exciting. Seems like Wisconsin's going to be pretty solidly Trump. And while we're at it, let's go on and give these three Democratic states back to Bernie so we can get a little closer idea of where we stand. As I said with the Biden prediction, Bernie is too moderate in terms of national security. He does not support open borders. At least that's what he said thus far. So there will be no activist push in Arizona that could probably bring out the Democrats. A lot of excitement over maybe the wall, but if it's Bernie, the wall's off the table, so it goes to Trump. So we're down to Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, big powerhouse states here, and just two of them Trump needs. I think it's probably a safe bet that Ohio stays in the column, which brings it down to these very close states. If you ask the Trump supporters, it's kind of in the air. It's a divided consensus on whether he'll take Michigan again. He only won it by like 9,900 votes. It was extremely close. And I imagine the Democrats will be pouring reserves and their entire effort into getting Michigan back. They'll be doing the same with Pennsylvania, which is why this will be so close. Let's say they do get Michigan back, and it all comes down to Joe Biden working the Scranton area, every single surrogate of the Democratic Party coming in. But will that Rust Belt that extends from Missouri through Cairo, through Indianapolis and Ohio, West Virginia, will it extend in here and rile people enough in Erie and smaller towns to actually turn the vote? Well, it did in the last cycle, and I think it will this time too, but it will be pretty close, so we might be waiting an extra day just to get the result. Nonetheless, Trump will win 284 to 254. If you like this review, check out my other ones on the 2020 Vision playlist. Did you know that CNN stole 2020 Vision from me? I've had this playlist for years, and I've made many, many predictions. And then, of course, CNN comes along and steals it all. Be sure to hit that like button